Lesson 35. Lena's Dreams. Read the following text and answer the questions that follow. 9 o'clock at last, and the toil of the day was ended. Lena climbed to her room in the third story of the Quarryman's Hotel. Since daylight she had slaved, doing the work of an adult, scrubbing the floors, washing the plates and cups, making the beds and supplying wood and water to the roommates in the depressing hotel. The din of the day's quarrying was over, blasting and drilling, the creaking of the cranes, and shifting of the cars taking the heavy blocks of limestone. Lena lit the stump of a candle and sat limply upon her wooden chair. She was 11 years old, thin and ill-nourished. Her back and limbs were sore and aching. But the ache in her heart was the worst. The last straw had been added to the burden upon her small shoulders. They had taken away Grim. Always at night, however tired she might be, she had turned to Grim for comfort and hope. Each time Grim whispered to her that the prince or the fairy would come and deliver her from the wicked enchantment. Every night she had taken fresh courage and strength from Grim. Whichever tale she read, she found in it an analogy to her own condition. The woodcutter's lost child, the unhappy goose girl, the persecuted stepdaughter, all these were transparent disguises for Lena, the overworked kitchen help in the Quarryman's Hotel. As always, when the troubles got unbearable, there came the good fairy or the gallant prince to the rescue. So here in the ogre's castle, enslaved by a wicked spell, Lena had trusted Grim and waited, longing for Power's goodness to prevail. But on the day before, Mrs. Maloney bade found the book in her room and carried it away, declaring sharply that it would not do for servants to read at night. They lost sleep and did not work briskly the next day. Can one only 11 years old, living away from one's mamma, and never having any time to play, live entirely deprived of Grim? Just try it once and you will see what a difficult thing it is. A. Answer the following questions in your own words. 1. Why do you think the hotel was called Quarryman's Hotel? Answer. The hotel was called Quarryman's Hotel as it was near a quarry and the men who worked there were the most common boarders in the hotel. 2. Was Lena happy with her job? Give 2 examples to support your answer. Answer. Lena wasn't happy with her job. 2 examples to support this: since daylight she had slaved, doing the work of a full-grown woman, scrubbing the floors, washing the plates and cups, making the beds and supplying wood and water to the roommates in the depressing hotel. Her back and limbs were sore and aching. 3. How did Lena derive comfort and hope from Grim? Answer. Lena derived comfort and hope from Grim. Whichever tale she read, she found in it an analogy to her own condition. When the troubles got unbearable, there came the good fairy or the gallant prince to the rescue. 4. Why does the author call Lena's condition a wicked enchantment? Answer. The author calls Lena's condition a wicked enchantment, as like the spell of a wicked witch, it was robbing her of her childhood. 5. What is the author referring to by the phrase an ogre's castle? Answer. The author is referring to the hotel where Lena worked by the phrase an ogre's castle. 6. Who do you think is Mrs. Maloney? Why does she take Grim away? Answer. Mrs. Maloney is the person who owns the hotel. She took Grim away, declaring sharply that it was not right for servants to read at night, as they lost sleep and did not work briskly the next day. 7. What does the idiom "to add the last straw" mean? Answer. The last in a series of bad events, etc., that makes it impossible for someone to accept a situation any longer. B. Match the words with their meanings correctly in the table below. 1. Toil. G. Work extremely hard for long hours. 2. Din. D. Loud, unpleasant, and prolonged noise. 3. Quarry. J. Extract stone or minerals from a large, deep pit. 4. Enchantment. A. The state of being under a magical spell. 5. Analogy. B. A comparison between two things. 6. Persecute. K. Treat with hostility and aggression. 7. Disguise. C. Something that hides one's original identity. 8. Gallant. L. Chivalrous, heroic, brave. 9. Ogre. E. A man-eating giant from folklore. 10. Spell. F. A form of words used as a magical charm. 11. Prevail. I. Prove more powerful or superior. 12. Deprive. H. Prevent a person from having something. C. Change the following sentences into the passive voice. 1. Lena lit the stump of the candle. Answer. The stump of the candle was lit by Lena. 2. The prince or fairy would deliver her from the wicked enchantment. Answer. She would be delivered from the wicked enchantment by the prince or fairy. 3. Mrs. Maloney had found the book in her room and carried it away. Answer. The book had been found in her room and carried away by Mrs. Maloney. 4. They had taken away Grim. Answer. Grim had been taken away by them. D. Underline the adverbs in the following sentences and identify the type to which they belong. 1. Lena lit the stump of a candle and sat limply upon her wooden chair. Answer. Lena lit the stump of a candle and sat limply, manner, upon her wooden chair. 2. Mrs. Maloney had carried the book away, declaring sharply that it would not do for servants to read at night. Answer. Mrs. Maloney had carried the book away, place, declaring sharply, manner, that it would not do for servants to read at night. 3. Can one, only 11 years old, live entirely deprived of Grim? Answer. Can one, only, degree, 11 years old, live entirely, manner, deprived of Grim? E. Underline the subordinate clauses in the sentences below and identify what kind they are. 1. However tired she might be, she had turned to Grim for comfort and hope. Answer. However tired she might be, adverb, she had turned to Grim for comfort and hope. 2. Whichever tale she read, she found in it an analogy to her own condition. Answer. Whichever tale she read, noun, she found in it an analogy to her own condition. 3. When the troubles got unbearable, there came the good fairy or the gallant prince to the rescue. Answer. When the troubles got unbearable, adverb, there came the good fairy or the gallant prince to the rescue. 4. Even though Lena felt exhausted at the end of the day, she found comfort in Grimm's tales. Answer. Even though Lena felt exhausted at the end of the day, adverb, she found comfort in Grimm's tales. 5. Mrs. Maloney had removed the book because she said that servants should not be allowed to read at night. Answer. Mrs. Maloney had removed the book because she said that servants should not be allowed to read at night. Adverb. 6. If your most precious possession is taken away from you, it breaks your heart. Answer. If your most precious possession is taken away from you, adverb, it breaks your heart. F. Use the words given below to make sentences of your own that bring out two different meanings. Each word must be used in two sentences. Stump. 1. The batsman was stumped by the wicket-keeper. 2. The old man sat on the stump of a tree. Cross. 1. The manager has put a cross on the map to show us where the hotel is. 2. We cross the river in the morning. Sharp. 1. The knives in the kitchen are very sharp. 2. Be here at 6 o'clock sharp. Pump. 1. Water is pumped from the river to the fields for irrigation. 2. Our next stop will be a petrol pump 50 miles along the road. Pool. 1. Let us pool our resources together. 2. The children were swimming in the pool. Bank. 1. My mother has gone to the bank. 2. The women were washing clothes on the bank of the river. Crop. 1. Do you think I should crop this photo? 2. The yield of crops this year has been good. Refuse. 1. The manager refused to accept that there was an issue with the refrigerator. 2. The refuse dump is located a few miles away from the city. Tramp. 1. An old tramp was sitting on a bench in the park. 2. The children tramped across the muddy banks to reach the river. Spell. 1. How do you spell your name? 2. The witch had put her under a spell. Spring. 1. The coming of spring meant that the flowers started to bloom. 2. The spring inside the watch was broken. Trust. 1. After you betrayed me once, I cannot trust you anymore. 2.